You keep the thermostat at 72. The furnace runs and runs, and by February you're paying still has that draft that never quite leaves your ankles. You put on a sweater in your own house. You blame the windows. You blame the furnace. You're wrong on both counts, and I'm going to show you the 3 spots where your warm air is actually leaving. None of them are where you're looking. Let me tell you what you've probably already spent money on, because most people fight this battle in the wrong order. First, you blamed the windows. Everybody blames the windows. They're the obvious suspect. You feel cold air near them, you see the frost on the glass in the morning, and some salesman knocked on your door and told you new windows would cut your heating bill in half. So maybe you priced them. $8,000, $12,000, sometimes $20,000 for the whole house. And here's the truth. Windows are usually the smallest leak in the building. In a typical house, all the windows together account for maybe 10 to 15% of your heat loss. Replacing a decent double-pane window with a slightly better double-pane window might save you a few dollars a month. It'll take you 40 years to pay back $12,000. The window is innocent, mostly. Then you blamed the furnace. You called a heating guy, he put his gauge on it, he told you it was running fine, maybe he sold you a new filter and a tune-up for $140. And the house was still cold, because the furnace was never the problem. A furnace can be brand new, 96% efficient, sized perfectly, and your house will still feel cold if the heat it makes is walking out through the ceiling and the floor faster than the furnace can replace it. You don't have a heating problem. You have a leaking problem. And then some people blame the thermostat. They buy the smart one, the round one, the one that learns their schedule. It's a fine gadget. It will not warm a leaky house. It just tells you in a nicer font how hard the furnace is working to lose ground. So if it's not the windows, not the furnace, not the thermostat, where's the heat going? It's going up, and it's coming in from below, and it's sneaking through gaps you have never once looked at. Let me take you to the first spot. Go up into your attic. Bring a flashlight. Wait for a cold. Now look at the insulation, that blanket of fluffy stuff, pink or yellow or gray, lying across the attic floor. Most people look at that and think, good, I've got insulation. I'm covered. Insulation meets the top of your walls, all the way around the edge of the attic. And I want you to look for the holes. In 35 years and more than 10,000 inspections, I stopped being surprised by attic air leaks somewhere around house number 300, because they are in nearly every house I've ever walked. Here's what I find. Every pipe, every wire, every recessed light, every bathroom fan, every plumbing vent that comes up from the house below punches a hole through the top of your ceiling. And where that hole is, warm air escapes. Not through the insulation, around it, through the gap between the pipe and the wood. Here's the mechanism, in plain words. Warm air rises. Your heated house is basically a hot air balloon with a leaky top. The warm air inside your living space pushes up against the ceiling, finds every one of those little penetrations, and rides right up into the cold attic, straight out the roof vents. This is called the stack effect. And every cubic foot of warm air that leaves the top of your house pulls a cubic foot of cold air in at the bottom, through your rim joist and your outlets, to replace it. That draft on your ankles isn't coming from the window next to you. It's being sucked in from the basement because the top of your house is bleeding. I find the worst of it at rated for insulation contact, open into the attic. I've held my hand over one on a cold day and felt the warm air pouring out like a chimney. 6 of those in a ceiling, and you've got a furnace running full time just to feed the sky. That's spot 1. Stay with me, because spot 2 is where this stops being about comfort and starts being about whether you pay $40 once or $40 every single month for the next 20 years. Spot 2 is the rim joist. Go down into your basement, look up and out toward where the concrete foundation stops and the wood framing begins. That band of wood that runs all the way around the perimeter sitting on top of the foundation, that's the rim joist, sometimes called the band joist. Put the back of your hand near it on a cold day. In most houses, it's freezing. It's often completely bare wood, no insulation at all, or maybe a limp scrap of fiberglass jammed in that fell out years ago. That rim joist is the single leakiest square footage in the average house, and almost nobody insulates it right. It's where the wood meets the concrete, and those two things don't seal to each other. There's a gap. Cold air comes straight through it. And remember the stack effect. The warm air leaving your attic is pulling cold air in, and this is the front door it uses. That's your ankle draft. Not the window. The rim joist, 30 feet away. Now the third spot. And this one's sneaky. It's your ductwork. If you have forced air heat, the furnace makes the warm air and then blows it through metal ducts to every room. And the guy who installed those ducts, the one paid by the job and not by the hour, taped the joints with cloth duct tape. Here's the joke the whole trade knows. Duct tape is the one thing you should never use on ducts. The adhesive dries out, the tape peels, and now every joint in your duct system is leaking heated air into your basement, your crawl space, your attic, places you don't live. The Department of Energy estimates that in a typical house, 20 to 30% of the air moving through the ducts is lost to leaks. Think about that. You pay to heat that air. The furnace works to heat that air. And a fifth to a third of it never reaches the room you're standing in. It heats your crawl space instead. Your crawl space is very comfortable. You are not. Let me put real dollars on this, because comfort is vague and money isn't. Say your winter heating bill runs $200 a month, 5 months a year. That's $1,000 a season. Now, air leakage, the attic and the rim joist together, typically accounts for 25 to 40% of a home's heat loss. Let's be conservative and call it 30%. That's $300 a season walking out through gaps you can seal with a caulk gun and a can of foam. Add the ducts. If a quarter of your heated air of that $1,000 gone. Between the two, it is entirely normal for a leaky season. Over 10 years, that's $4,000 to $5,000, and that's before energy prices climb, which they always do. Now, here's the micro cost against the macro consequence. A can of spray foam is around $8. A tube of fire-rated caulk is about $7. A roll of the foil tape you should be using on ducts, the kind stamped with a UL rating, is around $15. So for $30 in materials and one Saturday afternoon, you can plug leaks that are costing you $400 a year. $30 once, against $400 every year until you die or sell. That's the whole math. That's the entire video in one sentence. Before you spend a dime, though, I want you to prove it to yourself. Here's the test, and it takes 2 minutes and one thing you already have in the house. Get a stick of incense. If you don't have incense, a thin candle works, but incense is better because the smoke is thinner and it moves with the smallest current. Now wait for a cold, windy day, because pressure differences make the leaks show themselves. Close all your windows and exterior doors. Turn on your bathroom exhaust fans and the kitchen range hood, all of them at once. This depressurizes the house and exaggerates every leak, pulls the cold air in harder so you can find it. Now light the incense and walk slowly along the spots I gave you. Hold it a few inches from the rim joist in the basement, all the way around. Hold it near the electrical outlets on your exterior walls. Hold it at the edges of your recessed lights and where the attic hatch closes. Watch the smoke. Where the air is leaking, the smoke won't rise straight up. It'll bend, it'll get sucked sideways, it'll run flat toward the gap. Every place that smoke ducks and runs is a place your money is leaving. Mark it with a piece of tape. By the time you're done, you'll have a map of exactly where to work, and you'll never again believe it was the windows. Now, the fix. Let me give you 3 levels, because not everybody has the same budget or the same knees. The good level. This is the caulk gun and the foam can, and it's the highest return on money you will ever get in a house. Start in the attic, on a cool day, Wearing a mask and long sleeves because fiberglass itches for hours. Pull back the insulation around every pipe, wire, and vent penetration. Where the gap is small, under 1/4 inch, run a bead of fire-rated caulk. Where it's bigger, use canned spray foam, and if it's around a chimney or a metal flue, you must use the high-temperature fire-rated foam, the orange stuff, not the regular. Then in the basement, cut rigid foam board to fit each rim joist bay, press it up tight, and seal the edges with foam or caulk. Then tape every duct joint you can reach with foil tape, not duct tape. Whole thing, maybe $150 in materials and 2 weekends. It'll cut your air leakage by half or better, the better level. Hire a company to do a blower door test and a professional air sealing pass. The blower door is a big fan they mount in your front door, and it measures exactly how leaky your house is and finds every leak with a thermal camera. Then they seal it all properly, including the spots you can't safely reach. This runs somewhere between $600 and $1,200 depending on the house, and it usually pays back in 3 or 4 winters. The best level. Full air sealing plus bringing your attic insulation up to code. In most of the country, the Department of Energy wants your attic at R49, which is around 16 to 18 inches of blown insulation. Most houses I inspect have R19 or less, half of what they need. Air seal first, always, then blow in the insulation on top. This is a $3,000 to $6,000 job professionally, but between energy savings and the comfort, it's the one that actually fixes the problem for good. Many utilities and the federal government offer rebates and tax credits for this work, so check before you pay full freight. Here's the honest limitation. Air sealing will not fix a house that has no insulation, and insulation will not fix a house full of holes. You need both, and you need them in that order. Seal first, insulate second. Do it backwards and you're just burying the leaks under a blanket where you can't find them and they keep costing you. And here's the one place you stop and call a licensed pro. If you go into that attic and find any wiring that's old, brittle, cloth-wrapped, or spliced without a junction box, or if you're not certain a recessed light is rated for insulation contact, do not bury it and do not foam around it. Covering the wrong fixture with insulation is how attic fires start. Get an electrician up there first. Sealing air is a homeowner job. Guessing about heat and electricity is not. Let me tell you about a house in Ohio. Older 2-story, nice couple, both retired. They'd spent $9,000 on new windows the year before I met them, and their upstairs bedrooms were still so cold they slept with space heaters running. Bill was $280 a month in winter. I put a blower door on that house, and it was one of the leakiest I'd measured that year. The attic had recessed lights with no covers, gaps around every plumbing stack, and a rim joist you could feel the wind through. We air sealed the attic, and the rim brought the insulation from R15 up to R49 and taped the ducts, which were dumping heat into the crawlspace. Their next January bill was $170. Better than $100 a month saved, and they put away the space heaters. The whole job, done professionally, ran them about $4,500, and it paid for itself in under 4 years, and it'll keep paying every winter after. The $9,000 in windows barely moved the needle. The gaps they couldn't see were the whole story. So here's where you are. You can spend $30 and a Saturday, or you can keep paying $400 a year to heat your attic and your crawl space forever. Pay today or pay every month for as long as you own the house. That's the only choice on the table. The heating contractors are going to disagree with me in the comments about the ducts and the tape. Let them. I only report what I find, and I've found dried out duct tape hanging off a joint in 9,000 basements. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me your state and what your heating bill runs in January, because the number changes a lot depending on where you sit. And if you've ever gone up into your own attic on a cold day, tell me what you found around those recessed lights and whether you could feel the air moving. I read them all. And here's the thing I want you thinking about, because it's the flip side of everything we just talked about. If your house leaks warm air out the top in winter, what do you suppose it's doing with your air conditioning in July? And how much is that quietly costing you when it's 100 degrees outside?